Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We're back with the one and only Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. This might be a heavy topic for you. I've had this conversation now with a couple of real estate brokers and some investors. You're in the mortgage industry, and if you're even casually paying attention, you now know that mortgage refis are down 83% nationwide. Purchases are down. Applications to purchase are down. And I just started this morning on my daily financial news calling the housing market. If you're commissioned or rewarded for transactions, the next couple of years could feel like a depression. And I don't say that to scare people. I say that to make them aware. I say that so people can diversify and add other streams, such as you did, right? People who watch the channel know that when we first started talking, you were California only. And again, through your great business ownership and leadership, you're like, I've got to diversify. So at the peak of the market, when California was crushing it, you joined U Mortgage, which gave you nationwide or 40 out of 50 states. It is that kind of leadership and thought and thinking ahead that keeps you nimble. But dude, there's a lot of people in mortgage today that won't be in mortgage in 6 months.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that, like you said, anybody who's being honest about what's going on, transactions are down a ton. And so, when volume's down, everybody is going to be doing less business. The real estate agents that I know and love that are the best of the best, even they are seeing a decline in transactions because there's less stuff going on. I think it's an opportunity. I think that it's a great time to really lean in and figure out how you gain market share in a market that's declining in transactions. Mm-hmm. And so when I go to these events and I'm around real estate agent partners, obviously I'm trying to take on more partners, have more people refer us business so that, I don't suffer. To your point, even when my California stuff is down, as we've expanded, as we're doing more stuff in Texas and Florida and Tennessee and really 48 out of 50 states, that has been really the savior from my business, seeing any real decline at all. But it's real. We looked at Sacramento stats as of yesterday. Ryan Lundquist, SacramentoAppraisalBlog.com, and the pending sales are down like 33% year over year. I talked to somebody in the hottest markets, Austin, Texas, and some of the markets in Florida. Those year over year stats are down 40%. And pendings are essentially transactions that are going to close. Ryan and I had a conversation right after he spoke, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yes, this is what I'm telling you, folks. It's going to get worse.
Right, are going to be down for, and this is the thing. It's not to scare folks. The interesting thing, and I've got to share this graph with you. Ryan put it on his blog on Monday, and it's interesting to see. Everybody thinks like, oh my gosh, look at inventory. Inventory went from a half a month to 1.75 months. Inventory, is flooding the market. The interesting thing to look at is it's not that new listings are up. New listings are down.
Yeah. New
listings are down in our market, and inventory is up 3x. It's because the crash in transactions.
Yeah, it's funny. Really, I had a economist from the Housing Wire on Monday. Logan was on. Awesome guy. Man, he talks fast.
Yeah. Logan with an M last name, long last name. Okay. Yeah. Great guy.
Motashami.
I wasn't even going to try it, but great dude.
He's awesome. Yeah. Follow him on Twitter. Anyways, he was on, and he actually said, and I had to go back and check, and he was right. Realtor.com. New listings down 2 weeks in a row. That's not a good sign.
Can I share this screen?
Yeah.
Let me wait till I share this. Like this surprised the heck out of me. And granted, this is the Sacramento region, four counties near me, but Sacramento's a market that, a lot of other markets are going to act the same. Mm-hmm. This is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. The blue line or purple, whatever this color is, are listings. Yep. And then the red line is pendings.
Okay.
So right now in 22, we've seen inventory go up 3x, half a month to 1.7 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you compare new listings to 21 and 20, which were down years, or look at it versus 19 and 18, way down in new listings, way less listings than past years, but more inventory because of this red line. This red line is the crash in
transactions,
demand. And it's real. We can't hide from it, right? Like I'm not one that's just gonna
stick your head in the ground and go, no problem, no problem, no problem.
Yeah. Me and my team like to say everything's fine. That's our favorite saying, because mortgage isn't always sunshine and rainbows. But if we've got multiple problems going on at once, I just tell my team everything's fine. Everything's fine. So I would guess that a lot of markets are similar. In that, they've got a bunch of new inventory, and if you're not paying attention and you don't know why, you just think, oh yeah, people are listing, this is happening. And the inventory increases are happening at least right now because things are taking a lot longer to sell and there's less on the demand side.
And again, these are going to roll over. Again, I've been doing this for so long. What you have in the last 4 to 6 weeks, and again, certainly in the last 2 weeks because of the NAR report, you are getting lots of mom and dads to go, hey, it's the peak of the market. Let's list and sell. A listing counts whether it's at wish pricing or not. It counts the same. And again, I'm talking to mortgage brokers and real estate agents. And I'm like, dude, you're going to lose 20 to 30. It's estimated. Again, this is just people's blind ass guesses. 20 to 30% of current listings are at wish prices and will eventually be expireds or cancellations. And that will trickle. Because again, if you go back and Logan told me this and other data geeks, housing inventory typically peaks in July or August. Once you get to September and the kids are back in school, it's like, I'll take it off the market. I'll wait till next summer. Yeah, it's crazy out there.
Yeah. And it's really hard for anybody to compare this to any past time in history, right? Because of this inventory crunch along with the demand destruction, right? You talked about it. You and I talked about it in our discussions months ago, where interesting dynamic where there's less listings and there's less demand.
Yeah. So again, if you're in the mortgage business or a broker, the thing to do now is pivot. For you, that meant going more states, right? You were very dependent on one, and now you're 48. That's better. If you're a mortgage broker and you did a lot of cash out refis because that engine was going, it's now down 83%. Figure out purchase. If you were doing lots of investors, go figure out FHA and VA. Go figure out 203K loans. We will still do about 4 million transactions this year. It's not 7 million, but we're still going to do 4. There will be plenty of loans. It's estimated that 25% of those 4 million will be cash. So that still leaves 3 million mortgages.
There's 2.5 trillion in loan origination, which for some people to look at 20 and 21 and go, oh my gosh, we did 4 trillion. Those years were anomalies. We'll get back to a more normalized year when it comes to loan origination. But to your point, you've got to make sure that your tools in your tool belt are sharpened. You're doing the best. And to that point, I'm seeing a lot of movement in the mortgage industry. Credit union, bank, retail lender, moving to the broker world. We can talk in a separate video too. It's an interesting time where there's more price disparity than ever.
The gap, I'm seeing that too. Yeah, the range.
Right.
You got to shop.
Right. I mean, I literally saw, and I was talking to somebody who was leaving where he was at, and he just said, man, it's hard for me to compete. Big retail lender, 20% down, purchase, 740 credit score. He was at 6.99%.
Holy cow, that's non-QM money almost.
I was like, are you sure? Like primary residence.
Did you do something wrong?
And he's like, yeah, if I get a price exception, then it's par and it's no cost to the borrower. And I said, dude, I'm literally pricing that same 500K purchase, 20% down, 740 score, and I can get them 5.499 with no cost.
A point and a half difference.
A point and a half better in rate, which is ludicrous.
Yeah, what is that on a payment? I mean, on a 500K.
It was $300. It was $300 a month. And the thing about it too is like there's a lot of good people in the mortgage industry. Bad rap 15 years ago, bunch of bad
well deserved,
right? Yeah. And the mortgage industry today, there's a lot of people that I think are aligned with how I think, how a lot of my colleagues
very different.
Think, serving people, helping people out. I talk to loan originators where they go, I've had this thought process and this wanting to help people as part of my business plan. Now that I see that I'm putting somebody in what's not the best terms, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't align.
That's awesome.
With them and their morals. So they're moving to the broker channel and they're finding a new place to originate. There's interesting stuff going on too. Like we could go on about this, Mike. I'm going to probably do some sort of campaign to try to reach some of these folks before they make a bad decision, because some of them are going from bad model with bad pricing to a new bad model with bad pricing, because the new bad model is offering them a signing bonus, then tying them up for 30 months.
30 months.
Right. Based,
Ooh.
based on production, I could have got $500, $600, $800,000 signing bonus to go sign with one of these companies, and would have been locked in for 30 months. If I leave before 30 months, they take it back. But in that 30-month interim, I would be charging consumers a percent higher on interest rate. Like
thank you.
Not the jam.
No, you and I would no longer be talking.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, and literally people will be like, hey, I reached out to your guy, Matt, the mortgage guy, and like 6.9% on a primary.
Kidding me, Michael?
Yeah.
Like, Matt's off the list. He's no longer an expert.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you are the guy. You've been helping out the channel, creating great stuff for us. Again, 48 out of 50. If somebody wants to buy, get pre-approved, FHA, VA, all of these great things, how do you want them to reach out?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the form, let us know where you're at, how we can help. I think if I remember correctly, one rental at a time subscriber closed a non-QM early this month.
Nice.
And that was a fun deal. It was a cool deal where we got a price exception and we were able to do something where the lender, because of his down payment, didn't even care about the debt service coverage ratio.
Yeah. DSCR. Didn't matter.
Yeah. And they just said, whatever, if you put 25% down, if
non-QM is a different world. That's why we have some non-QM lenders on the channel. I think that space grows going forward.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And so
I'm glad that you do that.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're doing all of it because, in a shrinking market, we're trying to serve folks. And I shouldn't say all of it, because there's some stuff that I'm just going to leave construction to perm and some of that stuff to the experts, but investors, especially, like that's a demographic that I work with a lot and I enjoy, because I'm an investor myself. So greatmortgagebroker.com, connect with the team. If there's any issues at all, you can always fire an email to team@mtmg.com, and that's going to get to me. Sometimes it's miscommunication. Sometimes, for whatever reason, even though my team has emailed 6 times and you never provided a phone number, you're saying we're non-responsive, but nonetheless, there's a lot of people dedicated to making sure that we're serving the one rental at a time community.
I love it. I appreciate everything you do. People should be reaching out. You've been helping us for almost a couple of years now. So that's why you come back every Wednesday. Thanks,
Sweet.
buddy.
All right. Thanks, Mike.